You know what, Chargers fans? Last night's game was a wild ride. The Chargers went head to head with the Rams. And yes, we didn't get the win. I know many of you were frustrated. And honestly, losing always stings. But here's the truth. This was just a preseason game. And preseason is about way more than the scoreboard. Before we dive deeper into the latest Chargers updates, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss breaking news and instant reactions. Now, let's jump right in. What really matters here is what we learned. We saw the starters out there. We saw some new faces showing potential. And most importantly, we saw exactly where this team needs to sharpen up. Coach Jim Harbaugh has said it best. Mistakes aren't just mistakes. They're opportunities to improve. And that's exactly what this game was. An opportunity. Yes, the first quarter was rough. The starters struggled, and it showed. It wasn't the start we wanted, and for a moment, it had all of us holding our breath, especially with stars like Justin Herbert on the field. But in preseason, this is part of the process. Finding weaknesses, testing roles, and preparing for the real fight ahead. That game wasn't just intense. It was downright scary at times. Chargers fans, you know exactly what I'm talking about. On one play, Quinton Johnston took a brutal hit that looked like helmet to helmet. The stadium went silent. The stretcher came out. And for a moment, everyone held their breath. Thankfully, he was able to get up under his own power before being carted to the locker room. It still looked like it could be concussion-related, but seeing him move on his own was a huge relief. And it didn't stop there. Alohi Gilman also got banged up, and honestly, it felt like every single drive had someone going down. The chat was blowing up with people yelling, "Pull the starters. Get them out of there." And you know what? They were right. Preseason is about preparation, not injuries. But in moments like that, you're reminded, this game is brutal. And even the best athletes in the world need time to shake off the rust. Take Taylor Heinicke as an example. Last week, he was flat out bad. No sugarcoating it. But this week, a completely different story. He looked sharper, threw for 56 yards, added about 20 more on the ground, and actually gave his team some rhythm. That's what a little experience and a second chance can do. I think that's exactly what we'll see with the Chargers starters too. They looked rusty today, especially on defense, which was surprising. But if they're back out there for the final preseason game, expect a much cleaner, more polished version. Because preseason is all about growth. And sometimes it takes that first ugly outing to get things right. Now let's talk about the defense. Because honestly, it was rough to watch. The Chargers had their playmakers on the field. Thule was out there. The corners were lined up. But when it came to stopping the run, forget it. The Rams basically did whatever they wanted on the ground. Yarkees Hunter ripped off 55 yards. Schrader added 48 late in the game. And Blake Corum picked up another 22 on just 4 carries. By the end, they had piled up over 100 rushing yards with ease. That's not what you want to see when your starters are out there. Hopefully, we chalk this up to rust, but it's definitely something the team has to clean up fast. But it wasn't all bad. We also got flashes of what this offense could be. Justin Herbert wasted no time showing chemistry with his receivers. That deep corner strike to Kendra Lambert-Smith, beautiful. Exactly the kind of weapon KLS can be in this offense. Herbert also found Ladd McConkey in stride on a perfect read of the defense. Ladd sat down in the soft spot of the zone, turned it upfield, and moved the chains with ease. That's the kind of timing and rhythm that makes Herbert dangerous, especially with Keenan Allen and the rest of the receiver room around him. And speaking of receivers, Kendra Lambert-Smith deserves the spotlight. He only had 2 catches, but they were big-time plays for 66 yards, averaging 33 a pop. First, it was that deep corner from Herbert. Then another impressive grab that showed exactly why he's earning more attention. It wasn't about volume. It was about impact. And this kid delivered. Chargers fans, this is where things started to get exciting. We saw Kendra Lambert-Smith showing exactly why he's not just another receiver on this roster. He's different. Sure, you've got your established stars like Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey, but KLS brings a unique spark. His chemistry with Justin Herbert is already clear, Herbert has the arm strength to push the ball deep, and KLS has the speed and route running to make it count. We saw it twice in this game. Once on that gorgeous deep ball from Herbert, and again on a strike from Trey Lance. Both times, Lambert Smith found separation, got into the open field, and showed off why defenses won't be able to ignore him. Plays like that don't just get you highlights. They force defenses to respect the deep game, which opens everything up underneath for guys like Keenan and Ladd. That's how you build a dangerous offense. And then came Trey Harris. Finally, this is the version of Harris Chargers fans have been waiting for. After staying quiet in the first 2 preseason games, he absolutely came alive, 6 catches for 85 yards, and what should have been a touchdown. Watching the replay, it looked like he broke the plane before going down, but the refs marked him short. Still, the Chargers punched it in right after. What mattered most was seeing the rookie flash everything that made him such a high draft pick. The contested catches, the toughness, the ability to create separation, all the tools were on display. For the first time this preseason, Trey Harris looked like the guy out of Ole Miss who could win almost any matchup. And if this is just the beginning, Chargers fans should be very excited. Something clicked for Trey Harris in this game, and when it did, wow. He and Trey Lance were in sync all night. Whether it was comeback routes, digs across the middle, or those clutch third down plays, Harris kept showing up. Just a week ago, people were questioning his ability to separate. This time, complete turnaround. He found space, created separation, and became that trusted target every quarterback dreams about. With Harris stepping up alongside Ladd McConkey and Keenan Allen, the wide receiver group suddenly looks deep and dangerous. And remember, we didn't even get to see Harris working with Justin Herbert yet. Reports from camp say their chemistry is already strong, and if what we saw tonight carries over, that connection could be a huge storyline once the regular season begins. The real headline: the rookie receivers delivered. Kendra Lambert Smith, a late-round pick, continues to look like one of the biggest steals of the draft. And Harris finally showed he can be a consistent weapon who wins on the sideline, beats his man, and keeps drives alive. Exactly what the Chargers needed after last year's struggles at the position. But it wasn't just the rookies making noise. Ladd McConkey looked sharp again. Sanders had a strong showing, and Luke Grimm made the most of his chances. Sure, he only had 1 catch, but his impact on special teams was massive. That return all the way back for a touchdown? Electric. It reminded everyone just how much value depth guys can bring, even if they end up on the practice squad. Special teams overall looked energized. Credit to Coach Ryan Ficken. We saw Darius Davis, KLS, and others getting reps in the return game. It's clear the Chargers are experimenting, and that competition is only making the unit stronger. And then, just when you thought the highlights were done, the defense gave us a moment worth talking about. You probably already know where I'm going with this. Tyrus Edwards. The big man making plays and grabbing an interception, unreal. For a defensive lineman to step in like that, that's the kind of effort that gets a sideline fired up. There are few things in football more entertaining than a big man interception, and the Chargers gave us one. A defensive lineman snatching the ball out of the air and rumbling forward. You can't script that kind of excitement. And here's the kicker. It wasn't a lucky accident. Edwards actually dropped into coverage by design. That's when it hit me. Defensive coordinator Jesse Minter is a mad scientist. He dialed up a play that had his lineman sitting in the right spot, reading the quarterback, and boom, interception. Watching Edwards lower his shoulder and bulldoze forward gave off some serious Iron Man vibes, and it worked to perfection. That single play showed just how creative this defense can be under Minter. Beyond that highlight, several defenders stepped up. Bridges, who struggled in coverage the past couple of weeks, came out aggressive and delivered some strong tackles. R.J. Mickens looked sharp, nearly pulling in 2 interceptions. Plays that ended up as pass breakups, but showed his instincts are coming alive. If he keeps reading routes like that, he could be a hidden gem on this roster. Dear Taylor had a mixed day, solid overall, but he did give up that touchdown late, which stung. Nico Reed also had some strong moments, but was the one beaten on the final score in the closing seconds. Tough break, but he's shown promise. And then there was Trayvon Morris Brash. He not only picked up a sack, but also kept consistent pressure on the Rams' offense. That's exactly what this Chargers defense needs from its rotation, especially with Joey Bosa out and questions about depth on the edge. With Bud Dupree already proving to be a smart addition, and young guys like Morris Brash and Caleb Murphy showing flashes, this unit suddenly looks deeper than expected. If they can keep that energy rolling, the Chargers might have found some serious firepower in their pass rush rotation. The Chargers showed a lot of promise in this game, but there's no denying, some things need cleaning up. That late Hail Mary from the Rams? Brutal. It felt like an old ghost of the Chargering days sneaking back in, and honestly, nobody ever wants to see that again. Not in preseason. Not ever. But maybe that's the good part, it happened in the preseason. It stung. But it was also a wake-up call. A reminder that polish and discipline matter in every single snap. Jim Harbaugh is the kind of coach who won't let moments like that slide. And you can bet this team will come back sharper because of it. And despite the loss, there was a lot to love. Raheem Rocket Sanders is proving he's more than hype. He runs with fire every single carry. Amari Hampton? The kid looks like a future star. In just a handful of plays, he showed exactly why fans are buzzing about him. Stiff arms, breaking tackles, moving the chains. That's the kind of running back that can shape an offense for years. Even though the Chargers fell 22-23, this game was never just about the score. It was about finding out who belongs on this roster, who can handle the pressure, and who's ready to step up when the regular season kicks off. And with Trey Lance getting more comfortable, the offense feels like it's settling into something dangerous. So yeah, preseason losses sting. But this one? It's a lesson. It's proof that the Chargers are building something stronger. And when Week 1 comes against the Chiefs, don't be surprised if this team looks sharper, faster, and hungrier than ever.